Hello! Welcome to Stock Talk with MBX. Last week, I talked about the weather in South Korea was freezing out there. It's like a brass monkey, more than cast iron monkey, I said. However, the financial weather in South Korea was disastrous, like more than catastrophic, nothing here, nothing left. However, it's not just about the South Korean financial market. It's all of the world. It's like a US market, Europe, UK. All of the financial market went down. It's like probably since the pandemic period, March of 2020. It's more than that drastically dropped since that time. So be careful. Do what you're doing right now with your proper logics in the financial market. The most exciting time, what you're really expecting from me over the last week, is summary time now. First, S-Oil and Songchang Holding lost individually 4.59%, 4.57%, with the spread fell 2.54%, 2.78%, whilst LG Innotek secured 1.11%, with the spread earned 3.55%, even its industry struggled 2.44%. Most of the stock prices and industry indices tumbled, except LG Innotek gained 1.11%, with the outperformed spread 3.55% in this somber week. How many stocks do we have for this week? 2. First, Hana Financial, Banks Industry, market cap 13.22 trillion won, 13조, as new. I think increase of inevitable interest rate stimulates higher NIM whilst inflation rate surge. Solid BIS ratio amongst domestic major banks. In a chunk of interest rates, there are two types, base rate and market interest rate. Base rate is kind of a wholesale interest rate given from central banks to commercial banks, and it is a standard price in the market. Market interest rate is a kind of retail interest rate given from commercial banks to corporates or individuals, and it is the retail price in the market. In case of base rate escalation, commercial banks get higher interest rate from central banks, thus commercial banks get higher interest rate from corporates or individuals, making profit. Therefore, NIM, net interest margin, simply gross margin what banks or financial institutions make, will be higher, which means good for the company in terms of profit. The company has the strongest BIS, Bank for International Settlements ratio, amongst major banks in South Korea according to the company's internal data. Actually, the figure of the company is slightly higher than KB, 0.2% point, and technically is the biggest financial group in the country. However, it must be critically important considering under the decimals even they are small. I particularly value ROE and dividend yield when I invest in financials, and the company has respectively 9.7%, 7.3%. My primary bank is actually KB. Sorry mate, but this is life. C'est la vie, c'est ça. Second, H&M, Marine Industry, market cap 11.93 trillion won, 2조 정도, as new. I view SCFI reaches highest price since October 2009 as initially the index starts. Affiliation of Korea Ocean Business Corporation release evaluates potential peril. Accumulated constraints of supply chain and the spread of Omicron variant dragged a higher shipping cost called SCFI, Shanghai Containerized Freight Index. Over a long period of the pandemic, the amount of logistics are packed, especially the US key ports, endeavor to deal with the bottlenecks by operating 24-hour, finding backlog of containers. Even so, the congestion at ports mainly in the eastern part of the US and Europe is ongoing, and especially the containers imposed a fine on delayed loading and unloading from the US key ports may trigger additional price increase, which is beneficial for the company. In recent filing on 6th of January 2022, Korea Ocean Business Corporation has released from the duty of affiliated persons reporting as joint reporter and changed to separate report per status change with no growth of additional purchase of stocks. It's a good signal if the organization holding amount increased. However, nothing happened but release from the duty of affiliated persons. Moreover, the president of KDB, Korea Development Bank, announced that Korea Ocean Business Corporation will be taking care of all business activities of H&M and will sell the holding amount by phasing out.
Merde.
I view this doubtful activity as future risks of the shrink of the stock price in a short term. The first time when I saw the company name, I was like, What's that? I thought it is advertising company, by the way. And plus, it's not H&M that you know, so. That's all for today. Hope you like it. Could be entertaining, could be educational. As I told you earlier, the financial weather is so brass monkey right now all over the world. It's definitely really hard time for everyone who is in the market. Be careful and think what you're doing in the market. And see you very next week. Bye-bye. I'm frozen like a brass monkey. Concern of interest rate increase. The financial weather made me like this.